So this is the new MG Astor, and it is a rival to India's largest selling SUV, the Hyundai Creta. And if you're considering this, it's probably not because of how nice it looks, which we will get to in a bit, or how it drives, which we will also get to in a bit, or how that interior is, but because of the kind of features it offers. So let's get straight to the point. What are the features the Astor offers? Because there's a long ass list to get through. Let me talk about interior quality very briefly. The interior quality, the sheer absolute touch and feel quality on the Astor feels absolutely top notch. The way the seats are, the way the dashboard is, everything that you can touch and feel all around is very good quality. It feels much more expensive than what it is going to be priced at. Now, at the time of us recording this, we don't really know what the price is going to be, but I'm guessing maybe 20 lakh for the top of the line version. This feels like a 50 plus lakh rupee car on the inside. The downside though is that it does feel a little bit cramped. Maybe that's because of the slightly bulkier dashboard or just the overall design, but it feels slightly smaller than its rivals on the inside. Getting to the features though, massive touchscreen, much more responsive in general, a big digital instrument cluster. You get a long list of connected car features, including a digital key on your cell phone, so you don't actually have to carry your key all around every day, all the time. You can actually just activate it from your phone and drive the car off. And then of course you get this little AI powered robot which answers your questions when you say, "Hello Astor.
Hi, how can I help?"
What year did MG start in?
MG was founded in 1924, 9 decades and counting. What else can I help you with?
So you can ask it, well, simple question and it'll answer you depending of course on your internet connection, which isn't very great here. The one thing that people did mention when we put out the video was, if this is here, where do we put our little idol? That's a conundrum only the Indian market will ever have. And that brings us to one of the biggest reasons to go and buy this: safety. And not just due to the fact that it has 6 airbags or that internationally the MG ZS has a 5-star NCAP rating. It is because of all the added ADAS features it gets. And yes, although that badge at the back is a little bit of an overkill, the features are great. Adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning and emergency braking, including pedestrian detection and braking, lane keep and departure assist and departure prevention, and a lot more. And this is only going to help you stay safer in your car and help avoid an accident, so it is a very welcome addition. Didn't I tell you that list was long, and that alone should get people to buy this car? But if that doesn't work for you, the way it looks just might. Now in this red, which is a little bit of a Mazda inspired color in my opinion, I think it looks the best. But overall, just look at the kind of details MG has put in, the effort. That's a 10 on 10 for effort right there. The crystalline sort of detail bits in the headlights, even the grille, which is like these little studded pieces, and the star formation. I think it looks really nice. You know what this is going to do? That big first problem for manufacturers, getting people into a showroom physically just by making an SUV look nice. This solves that in spades. I quite like the way this looks, isn't it? It's more crossover than SUV, it's more modern, it's more urban. Not a bad thing. Right, so now that we're done talking about what's inside and outside, let's get to how it drives, because at the end of the day, people are going to want to know how the Astor does on the road. Now, a caveat, this is a very first drive, very basic, quick drive. It's not going to be something very detailed. It's definitely not going to be on public roads. So we'll bring you a more detailed drive review of this very soon, as soon as we get our hands on the car in Pune. The first thing that really pops up is the NVH level. The difference between the window being up and the window being down, the noise level, the way the car cocoons you, is massive. The NVH levels are really genuinely very great, Apart from the fact that if you do mash the throttle in, the engine does sound a little bit scruffy and noisy. You get two petrol engine options. You don't get a diesel in the Astor at all. You get a 1.5 naturally aspirated engine and this more powerful 1.4 turbo. It is a smooth engine, and you know what is really even better? It's a smooth gearbox. It's a really, really smooth gearbox, to the point where I actually scratched my head and said, have they put a CVT into this? Because it is really that smooth. Now obviously we can't tell you exactly how it would feel on rough roads, but what I can tell you from the basic suspension setup that I can feel, it has sort of a really great balance between really being comfortable and very soft, and being sort of on the stiffer side and giving a great feedback. So you know what it is? It's somewhere in the middle of, say, in the middle of the Germans and the Koreans. That's where this thing sits really nicely. Now remember how I said this drive was not on public roads? Well, we were actually driving it at the Buddh International Circuit on the service roads, or the periphery roads as BIC calls it. And since we were at the circuit, we had to try out how the car actually felt driven hard on track. Now, because we were out shooting, our scheduled track time was actually done with and we missed that slot. That said, we thought maybe we'd try and sneakily go do a lap anyways. We made it through the first layer of security. This is such an iconic tunnel. And imagine the number of cars that have gone through and the people that have gone through these walls. Still gives me the feeling every time I come to the BIC. Okay, let's see now if we can actually make it through unassumingly like we're supposed to be here. We've got access. We've literally sneaked in to India's best racing circuit. Pit lane's open too. I'm gonna go make a run for it like the border of Mexico. What? Green light at the pit lane as well. Let's go! Okay, you know what? First things first, it does have a decent fair bit of composure, and I'm gonna momentarily take my eyes. No, you know what? I'm gonna make this corner, which is always a little tricky. Momentarily take my eyes off and put the EPS into dynamic mode. Let's see how much of a difference that makes, because in the normal urban mode it's really light and nice, sort of potter around the city. But now that we're on a track, or rather we've snuck onto a track, I think dynamic mode is perfect. It's got some poke as well, 160, 165, 167, not bad. Okay, brakes. Decent bite on the brakes as well, and these are all 4 discs, so it should be nice on the brakes as well. Now of course this isn't a performance car, but you know what, in terms of just general composure, it's not too bad. Now these kind of SUVs in this segment is nothing really that sort of is a sporty alternative, maybe some of the VW group ones, but generally throwing it around the track like this. Now there is body roll now into this chicane. Ooh. And I wish the gearbox was just a little bit faster, or I wish we had access to maybe paddle shifters. You know what, it's not too bad. Genuinely, it's not too bad. Just that little bit more horsepower maybe, or just a little bit more power in general. Or you know what, I think it just needs a quicker gearbox or maybe paddle shifters, and that power deficit, the feel of that power deficit would be made up. Right, my favorite set of corners, braking hard into the chicane, letting it go, hit the apex on the left and hit the sausage curb on the right. I love that corner, I absolutely love it. It dances around really nicely as well, sort of fluidic in the way it drives. Not too bad, MG, not too bad. Okay, yes, now I know an MG Astor is not something that people are going to drive really hard on the street as if they are on a racetrack. But the fact that it still was a fair bit of fun does tell us a lot about the suspension setup. This really is a great all-round SUV in my opinion. It looks good, it has a very well made interior and really does have the potential to take on the Hyundai Creta at its own game. I do really think MG has a winner on their hands, especially if they price it between, say, the 12 to 20 lakh rupee bracket.
We're gonna quietly sneak back into the pit lane and maybe sneak back out that main gate.